Morning, Jurgen. Good place
Hi.
to start. Lots of games, obviously. So I just wonder if you could give us an update on the squad, whether you've got any fresh problems, and also in particular on Jordan Henderson, I suppose, and whether he is fit to return.
No new cases. And Hendo and Joel trained yesterday, so with the team fully. So we have, like always with these things, then you have to wait how they reacted overnight and what they can do today, but they trained yesterday.
The big news, I suppose, across the Premier League this week is Thomas Tuchel replacing Frank Lampard, a man you've got plenty of shared history with at some of the clubs in Germany. I just wonder what you can tell us about him and what qualities he'll bring to the Premier League.
Yeah, obviously two things what happened. One is that Frank Lampard lost his job, and I have to say, that's a really tough one, to be honest. I think that Chelsea did an incredible job in the transfer market this summer, brought in really good players, and things like this need time. Is completely normal, and I think it's really harsh to make the decision that early. But obviously, Mr. Abramovich gives you some chances, money, players, whatever, but he's not the most patient person in the world, obviously. So that's the one thing, and I really feel for Frank because he's a young, really, really talented manager, and I wish him only the best. So he will be fine, I'm sure. But it's a hard one if your club, if it happens in your club, and it was obviously Frank's club. But maybe it's good now. The story is over. Now he can go everywhere and be completely fresh and without any history. But for Thomas Tuchel, obviously, is great. Unfortunately, a really good manager. So yeah, I know him long and respect him a lot. And no, that this Chelsea squad is a present. So I'm pretty sure Thomas sees it like that. And so yeah, they will be good.
And just finally, this week, football's lawmakers, I suppose, is a good way to put it. They've looked at the offside rule, the interpretation of it after the goal that Manchester City scored.
Aston Villa will be really happy about it, I think.
Yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? I mean, changing the law mid-season, I just wonder, or the interpretation certainly of the rule. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, my first thought was, how can it be that you don't think about this kind of rule before? We had situations years ago. It was funny enough against Tottenham when Dejan Lovren had a situation where he hit the ball and then Harry Kane could score. So this situation is not the first time that it happened. But everybody explained, no, it's like this. It was what is it? An intentional, is it the right word? Like touch. He went to the ball and that's why he touched it. But he only went to the ball because Harry Kane was there and he cannot make the decision if he's offside or not. So maybe you find it in your big. So it's years ago that we had that problem. So finally, I would say, we changed that because it makes no sense. And it was just with all football people and both sides, the one who scores the goal and the side who concedes the goals agree that it's like, how can we sort that? It makes it really difficult. Then something is wrong, and I'm really happy that they finally changed it.
Thank you, Ben. Simon.
Hi, Jurgen. I was looking back at obviously this was your very first match as Liverpool manager. Probably, I don't know whether it seems like a long time ago or not now, that goalless draw at White Hart Lane.
How many games did I have in between then and now?
Loads.
I would like to hear the exact number if you are really prepared for it.
Was it not your 400th recently? So what, 401? So this is possibly 402.
It might feel for you like this, but I don't think I reached the 400 already. So
loads is fine, Simon. That's a
loads. Thanks. I should have left it at loads. Yeah. Looking at the starting lineups, it was interesting because of your starting lineup and subs. There are only 2 players that are still with you today. Whereas the Spurs one, they've actually got 9 players still with them. So what does that maybe say about the progression and the changes that you've made, maybe as well as Spurs as well, but I think specifically you guys?
It's completely different. It's a completely different situation. When I arrived here in England, Spurs was the most talented squad. That incredibly talented players and very young. Harry, I forget now 100% a couple of, but of course, Lloris was maybe not a kid anymore, but in the best age for a goalie. Harry Kane, Eriksen, Dele Alli, Eric Dyer, Lamela, Davis, Alderweireld. So they were all really young that time and already really good. So there's no and were upcoming. It was just a matter of time when they will be really successful. And by the way, they were really successful that year. I think they became second in that year, if I'm 100% right. Don't know it exactly anymore. So different situation. And when I arrived, they had a different squad. So a different age group. We had to change things, and so that's different. So it says nothing. It says just more about how the situation was that time, and not they were in the best age and we weren't. They were in a really good place and we weren't. So you have to make then more changes if you are not happy with the situation, and that's what we try to do.
And I know that the result in the FA Cup game against Manchester United certainly wasn't what you wanted, but in reflection now, and maybe in what you've seen this week on the training ground from the lads as well, has it felt like it's a turning point and you've seen the good points that you know are there at Liverpool?
So when I understand the question, it's always like this. Everybody's waiting at us, yeah, that was the turning point. And I wanted to be the turning point, but the turning point, the result would have been nice as well. So you play well and then you get a result. So there were a lot of good stuff in, but of course we conceded 3 goals. That's not what we want. But I cannot always, now this was the turning point and that was the turning point and this was the turning point. It's not about that. It's the general situation is a challenge, and a challenge is good. So, and I'm fine with it. It's I'm not the person who sits here and thinks my life should always be perfect and my team has to win all the football games. If something is going wrong, you have to work on it. That's what we are doing. And we are in this moment. And now the next game is Tottenham. If I say now, yes, it was the changing point, a turning point, sorry, and then against Tottenham we don't play like that, then you say, oh, we have to start again new. We cannot constantly start new. We started already a while ago and change things and try to improve and all this kind of stuff. And we will stay on that. We will stay on track. We will do that and do that and do it. We will be really annoying and we will fight hard, and we will be positive with the positive things and we will be critical with the not so positive things. That's what we do. And I know people expect me to be in a bad mood or whatever. I'm not. I take the situation like it is and go out and make sure that we are ready for a fight. And we will be ready for a fight tomorrow night. What it will lead us to, I don't know. So Tottenham, when we met last time, I think in December or so, it was first and second, something like that. Obviously, that's not the same situation anymore. A lot of things happened since then. That's how football is. In a month's time, a lot of things can happen again. And we want to make sure that there's then, if we talk then about the last month, it's much more positive than this last month. But we cannot change the last month anymore. We have to take it. And I know it's easier in the high-flying times to believe in what you do. But I'm not only a good weather coach. I was never. So it's just for all circumstances, you need to have the right answers. And the right answers for this is respond to some things and keep the things which are really good. And there are still a lot of things. And United is not like we, out of the blue, we played some good stuff again. We played good stuff before, but we have to do it consistently. We have to do it more often. We have to do it for 95 minutes in the game. All these kind of things. We know it and we will do it.
Terrific. Thank you, Simon. Good to see you. Okay, we'll go to...
Great.
We'll go to Ian from TalkSport, and then we'll go to Nate and to the Impact from the Press Association. But Ian next.
Jurgen, how are you?
Okay.
My first question is, you're at a club whereby managers are always given so much time. Frank Lampard was at a club at Chelsea whereby managers, if it's not working after a year or 18 months, bye, see you later. Why do you think there are such different clubs? And what advice would you give to Thomas Tuchel as a German coach coming here? We've seen you was successful. We've seen Daniel Farke was successful. I will for sure give Thomas Tuchel no public advice. I'm not sure when we play them next. I don't have his actual number, so I couldn't text him. But he was a while in France, never got a French number. No advice necessary from my side. The difference is the club. I always said it. I was lucky with the clubs. I was absolutely lucky with the clubs. At Mainz, everybody wanted me to succeed, the right word, to do well.
At Dortmund exactly the same, and at Liverpool the same. So why did I get the time? Because the owners or the presidents, sporting directors from the former clubs thought we are doing the right stuff and knew that it takes time. So it's all about it's how many coaches did Chelsea have in the last 10 years? I don't know, or 15 years. It's quite a lot. So that's,
quite a lot.
You are successful or out. That's obviously the mantra, and I cannot have nothing to do with that. How I said it plenty of times. I was lucky with the clubs I had always, and we're only 3, but I was lucky. And for Frank, everything will be fine. I think the football people out there, if they saw some of the stuff Chelsea played last year already, they have to say, okay, there's a clear plan. It's a real. And Frank might not want to hear that, but he was not too long in the business, so he's not a talent, but he's a young manager, and he did a lot of really good stuff. And he will be back soon if he wants that, and then he can see he'll get more time, 100%.
The big plus point from last Sunday has to be Mo Salah scoring again. You mentioned time there. How much more time do your front 3 need to score goals in the Premier League? Because it's been a ridiculously long period of time for 3 talented players not to score goals.
Yeah, but football is like this. So you have to go in the right situations. You have to make the right decisions. All these kind of things. And I don't know how long it takes or whatever. It's about in this world we are losing trust and faith much too quick everywhere. Everything is great or everything is the opposite. So, and there's so many stages in between. And so we have a commitment to each other. So that's how it is. That doesn't mean they can play how they want and stuff like that. They never did, they never could. So that I see them trying, I see them working on it and all that stuff. And we are working as a team on solutions, not tell them, so everything is fine, but you don't finish the situations off. It's not like this. If we finish the situation, then we concede goals, stuff like we have. It's a complex game, and I love that about the football game. It's never about one person. That was the main reason why I loved this game so much as a kid already. That I didn't have to be perfect, and we still can win games. So it's about that. We have to become, and we talk about these things because it's obvious. Scoring like free, what is it? Yes, scoring like crazy or not scoring. That's a big thing in between. I know. But it's really about being the team we want to be. And the team we want to be is actually the one team nobody wants to play against. And that's a little bit of a problem. I think in the moment it's like defend deep against us, and at one point you will get a chance for counter attack. But we want to be the team nobody wants to play against. And we have the chance to be that team tomorrow night. And then on Sunday. And then on Wednesday, if I'm right. So, and then again and again. So that's the team. And that's what we always wanted to be. But then all of a sudden, people told us we are the best team in the world, which we never were, but that's not a problem. We could beat the best team in the world. We can still be the best team in the world. That's good. But we have to prove that on the pitch again. And we will. We are on fire, if you want, to strike back. And the more negative things are thought about us or said about us, the more we want it. Even I don't read it and don't hear it, but I know it anyway. So that's the situation we are in. And for our supporters, the problem is, you would say now, if you play a home game or whatever, the supporters have to be on their toes and come on, like let's create a proper atmosphere. That will not be there anyway. At Tottenham, not, because we play away, and the West Ham as well. So but I really hope, and that's a chance for us as well, that we can do together with our fans now. In the moment, even when we are not together, just create that common fighting spirit again. So it's difficult. We didn't see each other for a while, and now we became champion. Now the results, at least, and some performances dropped a little bit. It was always clear that it could happen. Now we can show how strong we are, and I'm on it, in it, whatever you want. And whoever wants to follow, welcome.
Okay, Nate, one for you, and then Ian Parker's finished, and we'll go to the breakout section. So Nate, first of all.
Hi, Jurgen. I think you've just touched on it in the previous answer, but this is a really tough run of fixtures for Liverpool now. Not only Tottenham tomorrow night, but City and Leicester next month. So how do
West Ham is flying. West Ham is flying. Don't forget them, huh?
West Ham as
Six-
well. But they're all in the top four, and Tottenham can obviously knock you out there with a win tomorrow night. So how do you want them to? How do you want your team to respond to this run of tough fixtures?
First and foremost, and you might remember it, we never thought about the game after the next game. So we played Tottenham. Nothing else. We only have to play Tottenham, and we don't have to play the other four, whoever it is in this game as well. It's only Tottenham. It's tough enough, but it's only Tottenham, and that's what we have to make clear. So again, in the best times, we had to say and said it because it was the truth. We went in it game by game. In this moment, we go in it game by game. Tottenham. Do you think it's impossible for us to get there something? No, probably not. I don't know. Probably not. Is it difficult? Yes. That's with all the Premier League games the same. And we just have to make it happen. That's how it is. And it's difficult, I know, but we will try. You will see.
Thank you very much, Nate. And then finish Ian Parker. I think you're from PA, Ian, I'm guessing. Anyway.
Yeah, just a quick one. It kind of follows on from that. We often hear that defending the title is more difficult than winning it. You've been going through some sort of challenges, I guess, in the last few weeks. Have you seen anything different in the mental approach of your players this season to maybe last season?
Now, of course, because we are different. We are a year further, the year before. It's always like this. The time changed and everything changed. Of course, things are different. New players in, things are different. So because the results aren't good, people might say now it's worse, but that's not true. I think it's changes. You cannot judge them only because of the result, the short-term result. So we make all our decisions for a long term. So that the club has a benefit in the long term, and that's what we did this time as well. So, and we will give our absolute everything this season. It's not about defending the title or whatever. It's about winning football games. It was always about this defending or attacking football, the title. It's more something you say you have to say because you ask me. So these kind of things. We have to this club and this team has the potential to fight for the title. We will see if we can make that happen, if we can get closer there again this year. If not, we will try next year. So these kind of things, we give our absolute everything this season, and especially for the next game. And with all the difficulties we had, we try really all we can, and that's it. And we get judged for that. That's how it is. That's fine as well. And I can understand 100% if you don't win the game, people think you don't try hard enough. But I can tell you we try hard and we will continue trying hard.
Terrific. Okay. Embargo section now, guys. Okay. So for those of you streaming, tweeting, posting, whatever, please stop. Everything from here on in is 10:30 p.m. this evening, Wednesday the 20th.